to JMath.
Hi guys, so the first thing you will learn in calculus is called the first principles formula. Now, it's a massive formula, but it is on your formula sheet. And in every exam, you will get only one question, it's the first question of calculus, and it counts 4 or 5 marks, and that's where you use this formula. After that, there's a shortcut that I'm going to show you in the next video. So don't get too scared with these long sums, only one in each exam. So like I say, it is on your formula sheet, so you don't need to memorize it, but let's see how you would actually use this big formula. So for those of you who want to copy the steps, here it is in the left top corner. But I'm going to do a sum and then explain as I go through. Now, the first thing you need to know is that this chapter is called calculus, but it's also called differentiation. So if I use calculus, the new formula I'm going to get is called the derivative. So that's what you would see in this question. Find the derivative. And the derivative is denoted by f with a little apostrophe next to it. So that's called the derivative. It's also called the gradient of the tangent, the gradient at a specific point. In some sums, they call it the rate of change. So there's many names for the same thing. But as we go through the chapter, you will see more examples and it will become clearer to you then. So let's do this first one, and then you will see how to apply the steps. Find the derivative, so I'm going to use calculus, of fx if fx is x squared minus 2x by using first principles, and like I said, it counts 5 marks. Now, the first thing you're going to do is rewrite the fx formula that they gave you. So I know fx is equal to x squared minus 2x. Now, in the formula, you would see there is a fx plus h. So that's the first difficult step, and many times that's the most difficult part of this, is you now need to take every x in the original formula and replace it with an x plus h, and then simplify correctly. So I'm going to say this is x plus h squared minus 2 bracket x plus h. And now I can just FOIL that out and simplify a little bit. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 2x minus 2h. So now that I'm done with that, I can now sub in to this formula. So the first part of this formula is derivative of f is equal to lim h tends to 0. So in previous textbook, they went into detail about what does limit mean and how do you use it and whatever. Really, in nowadays, they don't really ask limit questions. And the only thing you need to know is as soon as it's safe, I need to make all the h's in the sum a 0. This is never going to change. It's always going to be a 0. So the moment I do not have a denominator as h, I can sub that in. But I'll tell you exactly when that is. But other than that, you don't need to really know what a limit is. Just continue writing it until you use the limit. So I can now sub in my fx plus h formula. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 2x minus 2h. And now I can subtract the original. Let me just do it in another color. So this would be x squared minus 2x. Okay, so as you can see in the steps, I now need to simplify this, and everything that does not have an h will cancel out. So that's step 4 now. So I need to continue writing my notation. If you make a mistake here, you will lose a mark, unfortunately. And if I simplify this, this x squared cancels with this minus x squared. This plus 2x, if I multiply the minus in, will cancel with the minus 2x. So there I'm left with 2xh plus h squared minus 2h all over h. So like I said, somewhere in the sum, I need to sub in a 0 into the place of h. But because there's a h at the bottom, and it's the only thing in my denominator, if I sub it in now, I am going to get undefined answers. And we can never have that in math. So I just need to wait a little bit before I can sub in. Step 5 says I now need to take out h as a common factor. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So at the top, I have left 2x plus h minus 2. And at the bottom, there's an h. Now, finally, I can cancel out this h. And in the next step, I can now sub in 0 into the place of h. When this happens, I do not need to write the lim anymore. So I can just write derivative of f is now equal to 2x plus 0 minus 2. And therefore, my final answer, so the derivative of this is just equal to 2x minus 2. And that's it. So it's a lot of writing, but it's not really difficult. The most difficult part is to simplify the fx plus h correctly. Then you just sub in, cancel out, and then eventually sub in the 0. Let's do a few more examples so you can really get used to this. Question 2, find the derivative of g of x if it is equal to minus 2x cubed by using first principles. Firstly, I need to say I know that gx is just equal to minus 2x cubed. But now the annoying part is I now need to replace all the x's with an x plus h. So gx plus h would be equal to minus 2x plus h cubed. And yes, I now need to FOIL out that entire thing because I can't do calculus if I have brackets. I am going to rewrite this as 3 of these brackets next to each other. Just to save time, I'm going to FOIL the last 2 already. So I know that's going to be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Now I need to multiply all of these with an x, and then all of those with an h, and then only I can multiply in the minus 2. So x cubed plus 2x squared h plus xh squared plus x squared h plus 2xh squared, and then I don't have space, but there's a h cubed at the end there. And finally, if I simplify, I must now just add like terms and multiply the minus 2 in, so it's going to look like this. Now I can just go and sub into the first principles formula and then start that sum. Okay, so now that I've subbed in, I can just see that everything that doesn't have an h needs to cancel out. So minus 2x cubed will cancel with the plus 2x cubed at the back, and then I'm left with minus 6x squared h minus 6xh squared minus 3h cubed. I can now take out h as a common factor there, so I have minus 6x squared minus 6xh minus 3h squared all over h. The h's can cancel, and now that that has cancelled, I can now just write, therefore, the derivative of g will be equal to minus 6x squared minus 6x times 0 minus 3 times 0 squared. And my final answer for this horribly long sum was just minus 6x squared. Okay, guys, so like I said, it's not the formula that's complicated, it's the foiling out process at the very start that's the complicated bit. Now I'm going to just show you another example, and in this example, then I'll put in fractions. So you must know how to do this. They ask it, I would say, once every 3 years, either in a prelim or a final. So you must know how to do this. It just works a little bit different. One step is different, but the concept remains the same. So I know that h of x is just equal to minus 2 over x, and then h of x plus h, sorry for all the h's, they are going to try and confuse you sometimes, but this is a very easy subbing in process because there's no simplification needed. So now I can just go and sub it into the first principles formula, and then we'll see what we do afterwards. Now, if you've watched a few videos of mine, you know I hate triple fractions, so as soon as I can, I'm going to get rid of the triple fractions by writing a divided by h on the side. But in order to do that, I need one term on top. So I am going to LCD the top and then divide by h so that I can tip and times in a later step. So the LCD in this case would be x plus h. So now that I have an LCD, I can just simplify up top. So minus 2x plus 2h. And this would now be the step where everything that does not have an h would cancel out. So minus 2x plus 2x would just cancel each other out. At the bottom, x squared plus xh. And now I can tip and times and make that 1 over h. So now I have one term on the left, one term on the right. This denominator, I can put a bracket around it. When I do that, I can now cancel these h's. Okay, so now it's gone, and that means I can now sub in the limit that I have in the sum. So the derivative of h would be equal to 2 over x squared plus x times 0. And I can write the times 1 over 1, but it's really not necessary. So the answer to this fraction sum would just be 2 over x squared. So the only part that's different than the other one is that we needed to do the LCD in step 1 and not just sub in and cancel things out. Please make sure you know how to do this one because there's a big chance that you would see it this year. The final question we're going to look at, question 4a. By using first principles, find the derivative of f if fx is equal to x minus 3x squared. Okay, so that's the 5-mark question. And then hence find the gradient of the tangent when x is equal to minus 1. For question A, I would start as I normally do. So I would say fx is just what they gave me, so x minus 3x squared. And therefore, fx plus h would be x plus h minus 3x plus h squared. And if I simplify that, it would just look like this. Wow, that was a lot to sub in, but once again, I can check that everything that doesn't have an h cancels out. So that x would cancel that x. I would multiply the minus in, so that's a plus 3x squared, and there's a minus 3x squared. Perfect. Now I can take out h as a common factor and see if I can cancel out with the bottom. So there's no reason why I wouldn't, but just always make sure that your math is correct. If I take out an h, minus 6x minus 3h, and that's it. The whole bracket canceled out, and now the h's can cancel, and therefore the derivative of f would be equal to minus 6x minus 3 times 0. So you don't always need to write how I sub in 0. You can just do it like that, and you would get your 5 marks. Now, for question B, hence find the gradient of the tangent when x is equal to minus 1. Now, at the very start of this video, I said the derivative has many names, and one of the names for a derivative is the gradient of the tangent. Because this is a function, I can now just sub in minus 1 into the place of x, and the answer of a derivative will always give you a gradient. So for question B, all I need to write is just the derivative, if I sub in minus 1, would be equal to minus 6 times minus 1. and therefore it would be equal to positive 6. So at the specific point where x is equal to minus 1, the gradient of the tangent would be equal to 6 on this graph. Okay, guys, that's the first principles formula and concept. They really don't ask it more difficult than this. So there's a free 5 marks for you in every exam. Please don't mess it up. Go get those free marks, because the last part of calculus is not that easy, and it's not really something you can study for too much. Please try the practice video and see if you really understand first principles.
If this video helped you, please like and subscribe.
JMath.